1320 video visits Bandimere Speedway before it closes. Every year we get the news that more and more beloved racetracks are being closed, so that more and more awful housing can be built and then ultimately bought up by corporations and terrible people that the rest of us can't afford anyways, and they'll just be rented out or blah blah blah. Something stupid, right? The housing market. You just love it. The state of the world. You just freaking love it. Gotta love that eminent domain, right? I hope they got paid a mint for that track. I hope they got paid like at least twice the value of the land and everything on it. But genuinely, I'm thinking my end game goal as an enthusiast is to build a racetrack. I want that to be my automotive magnum opus. You know, not a crazy built car, not a business, but where should it go? What location would keep it under the government's radar while still being in the US? Because we all know the US government loves violating our pursuit of happiness. You know, one of the inalienable rights of the Declaration of Independence, you know, that obscure document. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Take away internal combustion engines and racetracks, and you take away the whole reason why I moved to the US. You ban internal combustion engines, then you take away my ability to freely buy and build the cars I actually want. Not the cars you want to pretend are good for the environment so you can stay voted in office, or more than likely changing the regulations so that the technology you've invested in has no competition by changing the rules so that the competition just simply can't exist anymore and you just have an infinite money cheat code. But you know, insider trading doesn't exist when you're a politician. You know, we've investigated ourselves and we found no wrongdoing. Well, I mean, yeah, what if I feel like even when I do some introspection, I find some flaws. I feel like I'm a lot more honest than these people. You take away my cars, and you infringe upon my pursuit of happiness. Race cars, modifying cars, it's spliced into the country's DNA. It's undeniable. It's a hobby for many, a way for people to feed their families. It is a way to connect people under one common interest. And it's a way for people to reward themselves for their hard work. Driving race cars into extinction is un-American, and according to the founders, just not cool, man. Roblox, copyright infringement, DMCA, I don't know about DMCA. This reminds me of that episode of Top Gear where they showcased China's blatant disregard for plagiarism. So, Driving Empire, a game within Roblox, is in some deep doo-doo with car manufacturers for using their intellectual property for monetary gain without the license to do so. What's worse still is when Black Panther made a video about it not too long ago, Roblox was literally advertising the Need for Speed Most Wanted BMW M3 GTR on the home screen for the PlayStation Store, I think. It's just blatant copyright infringement all around. And not long after Panther's video on the whole thing came out, manufacturers started to get pretty upset. Is it the YouTuber's fault? Well, no, obviously not. Obviously, he didn't snitch to the manufacturers, but also, he didn't have to. It was just a matter of time. Doing stuff like that, it's just a ticking time bomb. It's still pretty funny, though. Fast 11 or Fast X Part 2 or Fast 10 Part 2? Is it Fast X? It doesn't matter. It's going back to street racing. Apparently. The man, the myth, the legend, Craig Lieberman, talks all about it in one of his latest videos. The Fast saga is a weird one for me. A beloved one, but a weird one. Not too long ago, I finally watched Furious 7 all the way through, for the first time. And I can't help but be critical of every movie released after the 7th installment. The constant teasing of Paul Walker's character is crass and tasteless at this point, let's be real. I mean, the guy's dead. Being exposed to the writing of these films, it does pose a genuine mental health risk. You know, I'm still regenerating brain cells. Most of my synapses are dead. You'd be better off staring into the face of Cthulhu at this point. And the cars used on screen just aren't memorable anymore. Charger this, Charger that, Hellcat this, vague muscle car that. It's not memorable, it's not special. That and the cast is just huge, and apparently no one is dead forever. And no bad guy is irredeemable so long as their actor is worth a lot of money. And so, As long as the studio wants to recast them. If someone dies, they'll be back. Or they're the villain, but they lose, they'll find a way to join the team somehow. They need to end it. We're all fatigued. It's like the Marvel movies. As much as I like the Marvel movies and all that stuff, should have ended after Endgame. We needed to take a good long break, and I think we need to take a break from the Fast and the Furious, because we love it, but we need like a pause. And then we need a reboot, like 5 or 7 years later or something. That way, when we return back to street racing as we're supposedly doing now, it kind of makes sense. Also, bring back Jesse. Have the Mr. Nobody guy say, hey, this guy was in a coma but woke up a few years ago, or even more recently, and I found him looking for you in Los Angeles. It's maybe something with his memory. He went to go and find the Supra, he found it. And so I've been helping him regain his memory as he rebuilt the car. So like maybe every time he installed a part on the car, his memories came back or whatever. You know, have the film end on the car, you know, dusty, beat up or whatever. The decals are peeling off, or maybe have this nice reunion halfway through the movie. You know, maybe Dom is, you know, his spirit is waning, he's not confident anymore, and Jesse shows up in the kind of old and dusty Supra and he says, I don't remember everything, but I remember you and I remember the family. This Mr. Nobody guy says, you know, times are tough, man, but you've always been able to pull us through, you'll be able to do it somehow. And if you need my help, blah, 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 blah. You know, something like that. It would make sense, and that's still, you know, it sounds convoluted, but I don't think it's as convoluted as what we can expect from an actual fast film these days. I'm just saying, you know, at this point, a lot of the films, once I watch The Fate of the Furious and everything after it, I just expect boxed wine dialogue at this point. But whatever they do, I just hope they end it nicely so that the legacy of the Fast and the Furious can be a good one.
Hey folks, Tom here. Just wanted to interject myself. I'm editing the video as we speak, but I just wanted to let you know that I am aware of the fact that Vin Diesel posted a video of him standing next to the orange Supra, apparently on the set of Fast 11. So I just want to let you know that maybe, just maybe, this next one could be a good one. I still need to watch Fate of the Furious and Fast 9 and Fast X. I need to catch up. I still need to do commentary series on all of those movies. I haven't given up on those types of videos. I just wanted to try this stuff first. Anyways, back to the original footage.
Formula Drift! Drifting, drifting, drifting. What do you mean? I'm still on the fence about whether I want to give drifting a shot or not. I mean, my main hesitation is that I don't know if I'll ever have the time to develop any worthwhile skills, because it sounds like seat time is huge, but even more so, would I want to compete or just be casual and go to events? Probably just stay casual, I'll be honest. I'm not a super competitive person, but that's also probably just stemming from my lack of confidence. Also, hey, remember that time the owner or president or whatever of Formula D was up on stage talking about how great every champion was, but then said, well, I'll let Mike Essa say it.
Ryan Sage gets on stage and starts going through all the champions. He's basically he's the president of Formula Drift now. He's the co-founder and currently running. So he gets up on stage and goes through, starting from the beginning, like 2004, Sam Hubinet wins, and Reese Millen, and blah, blah, blah. And he gets, like, hypes everybody up. And then he gets to 2013, and he basically goes, actually, he said this, exactly. In 2013, we had an unfortunate situation, and because of what unfolded, Michael Essa was champion.
What?
Yes.
You f***ing kidding me?
Ashley was literally
there with your wife.
with my wife. We're sitting down at a table with other teams. Everyone is looking over at me because they're like, I cannot believe that he just said that. And then we got up and we left. We just walked out.
Now, it could have been a mistake on the guy's part, but it seemed to be a really poor choice of words, as the Joker would say. And you know, when you're in a role or position where your role requires you to be good at public speaking, addressing large crowds, and you know, you want to be a little calculated with your words so that the meaning behind them can't be skewed or misunderstood or misconstrued or however you want to say it. You know, you want to be good at that sort of thing. You want to be clear, you know, deliberate with the message behind it. And that would be the assumption of someone in a position like that, that whatever they're saying and the meaning you're getting from what they're saying is what they mean. Does that make sense? Because when you say, hey, one of your biggest achievements can really just be boiled down to an unfortunate technicality, that's called minimizing someone's achievements or simply just trying to bring them down. As the Joker would say, it's a very poor choice of words.